On a cold January afternoon in 1919, a strange, unstoppable wave tore through the streets of Boston's North End. It wasn't water. It wasn't fire. It was a flood of thick, sticky molasses. Buildings were crushed. Horses and people were swept away. It was a disaster so bizarre, people thought it was a joke, until the deaths piled up. This is the story of the Great Molasses Flood. In the early 1900s, Boston's North End was home to Italian immigrants and working-class families. In their neighborhood stood a giant steel tank, owned by the United States Industrial Alcohol Company. This huge tank, 50 feet tall and 90 feet wide, stored over 2 million gallons of molasses, which was used to make industrial alcohol for munitions and rum. But the tank was poorly constructed, leaky, and badly maintained. Locals complained about it groaning and creaking, but no one did anything. On January 15, 1919, temperatures rose rapidly after a cold snap, causing the thick molasses to expand inside the tank. At around 12:30 p.m., with a thunderous roar, the tank burst open. A tsunami of dark brown molasses, 25 feet high and moving at 35 miles per hour, crashed down Commercial Street. The wave flattened buildings, crushed a fire station, tossed freight cars like toys, and slammed horses against walls. People caught in the wave had no chance. Some were suffocated instantly. Others were trapped in the sticky mess and drowned slowly. Rescuers could barely move through the heavy syrup to save them. In total, 21 people died and more than 150 were injured. The molasses even trapped animals, debris, and cars in a nightmarish mess. It took weeks to find all the bodies, some buried under feet of sugar-sweet sludge. Cleaning up was almost as impossible as the flood itself. Firemen tried to wash away the molasses with salt water, pumped from Boston Harbor, but the sticky syrup clung to everything. People tracked molasses through their homes, the train platforms, even the subways. For months, Boston smelled of molasses. They said you could taste it in the air. Some claim the North End stayed sticky for years. An investigation quickly pointed the finger at the United States Industrial Alcohol Company. Engineers had cut corners, ignored safety warnings, and built a tank that was doomed to fail. The tank had been leaking so badly that kids would collect the dripping molasses in cups. In court, the company tried to blame anarchists for blowing up the tank, but the evidence showed it was their own greed and negligence. After a massive lawsuit, the company paid nearly $1 million in damages, worth more than $17 million today. The Great Molasses Flood changed building safety laws across America. Engineers and city officials learned to demand inspections, proper permits, and quality construction. Though it sounds absurd, the flood showed how a single industrial failure could kill dozens and destroy a neighborhood. Today, historians see it as an early lesson in corporate responsibility, paid for in blood and molasses. So next time you pour syrup on your pancakes, remember Boston in 1919, when molasses became a deadly force of nature. History is full of these strange, untold stories, and we'll keep bringing them to you in 5 minutes or less. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next weird chapter of our human story. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.